Hello everyone, Strangers103 here today with yet another replay cast. We're looking at one of my own games, actually. This is a Essex game, and just to tell you something, this game is from patch 0.5.2 build on 139121. That's right, this is around the point where the game was released. You'll see in the post-battle results screen, but just to give you some indication. Essex, Lexington. It's a double CV game, and I have 1-2-2 set up without AS though for some reason. I probably just potato captain or something, but no AS on this captain. This is 6 fighters, 12 dive bombers, 12 torpedo bombers. That's right, tier 9 planes all of them. Anyways, I am in a division with a rune and an Ibuki. So it must have been a while after release, actually, because German's cruisers were released at this point. But, and also no Japanese voices, I think. Let's see, settings, I don't think they exist. Yeah, the Japanese voices didn't exist for English client back then, which feels bad, man. But whatever, we're dealing with English voices, though. Now, kind of had been launching my fighters out, but I kind of also want to move my ship a little bit further back, and towards, most importantly, the Lexington, because there's no defensive A button here. I cannot press D for stats. There is no pressing D for stats. Now, I'm launching my dive bombers before the torpedo bombers, honestly a bit of a mistake. I'm pretty sure back at this point in time, how can I put it?
Group 6, airborne.
Fire stacks over time were actually better. Now the strafings did exist, and you can see I don't even think I have torpedo acceleration with this. Anyways, the enemy carrier seems to be very keen on just going down straight down the mid, one of them at least. And also, that is actual Admiral Decay on the enemy team, so we've got a competent enemy aircraft carrier as well. And well, there's also, how can I put it?
Maintaining present course.
There's no defensive. So if these two guys, who are by the way in divisions, if these two guys decide they want to kill me, there really isn't much I can do about it. They're going to kill me. Anyways, there is the reason I'm showing this to you, kind of. Oh, by the way, there's no strafe disengaged. I can't just go wipe the... I'm pretty sure there's an Lexington stuff. I can't just go wipe his stuff. Also, this is also before US carrier ammo buffs, so I can't just strafe my way throughout this entire game, still have the ammo, and there you go, you see, I am out of ammo. It's not a pleb build, it is just literally... There is no ammo buff on it, so your ammo is going to run out. Also, no AP bombs. That really just goes ahead and tells you how far, how long time ago this game was. Now, I'm saying we have one CV, it's me, and, well, I'm kind of, in a way, right about it. The enemy carrier, I think it's even a 2-1-1 Lexington back at this time in life, and you can see, I'm splitting my stuff up a little bit,
Group 6.
And when I say it's that, that you can see that in the chat. If I fail, this guy's screwed because he's against 2 divisions, and it's also one of them are competent. So if I fail, it pretty much screws this guy over, and of course the rest of the team. Now I'm going for this kind of awkward dive bomber drop against this Iowa. I mean, screw it. I don't seem to have anything better with my life to do at the moment, so I might as well. And I'm also thinking I'm going to drop these torpedo bombers on some of the stuff over there. Now, you can see top right corner, there's no damage markers there either, but I'm basically on fire. I might as well just dump the rest of it. Now, I am going for this EFMO, probably. I've got nothing better to do, and there's nothing I can do to defend either. And I'm pretty much just like, alright, I'm just going to hug this Lexington. Time lost to cycling be damned. If I die, well, the game's screwed. Now, this guy is not really moving the world's fastest, so I full commit. I really should have aimed a little bit further ahead, but way too late, Miyako. These bombers are already committed, and this Itmo's about to have a really, really bad day. And you can see it's basically half his health gone in a single alpha strike. I'm pretty sure it's a Miyako with a defense, so I doubt that Fletcher would have just done that. And the stock Iowa has decided he wants to Damacon after I set the second fire. Right thing to do there, definitely. Single fire is not a real threat to him. Now, we do have one destroyer over there. He's probably going to have a really, really hard time if the enemy carrier wants to be a nuisance to him. And that's some really, really loud gunfire. I'm basically just ordering my ship to sail circles around here. For the moment, I feel reasonably safe doing this. But I would have preferred this Lexington and wanted to move over here, but I'm actually not telling him anything in chat, so it's I'm not really helping him out in any way, shape, or form. We're not really coordinating, which is kind of awkward. So it's really just me without AS trying to make some plays, and him kind of trying to make his own plays as well. You can see he's actually double dive and single torpedo, but he does have a third dive over somewhere. There it is. So I've got the only fighter on my team, and I think the enemy team has 3 fighter squadrons. So it's just to give you an indication of kind of the uphill struggle we're going to be facing this game, most likely. Of course, that is, if the enemy carrier wants to actually contest me with those fighters, and they certainly should, because, well, I mean, if they haven't figured it out, I'm sure once they see this attack going over here, they'll soon figure out that, well, we've got to strike Lexington, and I think their Lexington is 2-1-1, I think. I'm actually not sure about the setup, because I can't see the tiers of the plane, so it's kind of difficult and awkward. Now, I don't want to commit to any fight over here, but I know there's no strafe disengage. If he tags the enemy, if the enemy fighter tags this, I could potentially go in for a strafe on it, but at this point I decide I don't want to risk it, I don't want to chance it. These guys will just have to fend for themselves, kind of pulling my fighters away. In hindsight, it's a bit of a mistake. I mean, the Smioko is unlikely to die to that if he doesn't take the second. Actually, no, he's going to die because he just bled damage. And now I'm going for, like, kind of an awkward strafe here. I mean, if I'd gone for the strafe earlier, this result would have been better, because now I'm a little bit on the border of the range of stuff. I mean, I'm actually still in range, so it's kind of fine. And I should be considering moving my ship a little bit more to the west and trying to deal with the stuff around the map overall. Regardless, I do actually pick up the fighter killed with some allied anti-aircraft help, and I really should pay attention to that on the map, but hopefully I am in the background. Like, this is a game from, like, a year and a half, 2 years ago, I don't even know. But with my low ammo state, I'm going to see if I can't actually try to thin out some of the enemy's strike, or try to kill them on return, but I don't think this is going to get too far. Turbo's AA, I mean, at this point in time, I think was absolutely horrendous, but Iowa Heavy Auto is incredibly tough. Mayday. Isn't that the Wargaming Pay to Win guy now? Pretty sure that's the Wargaming Pay to Win guy now. Whatever. I mean, you can see, like, I'm recognizing a lot, some of the names here, like, pretty incredible, really. Regardless, going for an Atlanta is actually not that bad of an idea, because I can just stagger my bombs, stagger my stuff, and if he doesn't want to trigger defensive for a single squadron, that's fine, and my single squadron goes in and clicks him, right? That's a bit unfortunate, I don't actually get much damage out of that, so I pretty much don't have much of an option but to send the second squadron after him, the dive bombers. These are I think they're actually still 500-pound bombs. I should be using these torpedo bombers, just wait up and go hit the Iowa and then pull them back around and out the back door again. This squadron kind of circled a little bit too far, but you can see it's not actually being panicked yet, so that's fine. And my fighter gets wiped because I wasn't paying attention to it at all, which is really unfortunate. But I'm going in, and I'm gonna try to drop on this enemy's Derpits. I do get defensive, so this is basically committed. But I'm actually not sure. Let me see if I can't camera just work a little bit. And like I thought, because this was back then, if you trigger defensive and you don't get, like, at least basically 5 seconds assures you that you're going to actually get through, but it didn't happen, so I do actually get the Alpha Strike off, and as much as I really could expect with him in turning does actually hit. Now, I'm starting to run low on fighters. I've got 2 more full waves, the wave that's going to be launched, and 1 full set of replacements. I lose them, I'm out, and entire team's out of fighters, so it really is just a case of trying to deal as much damage to the enemy team as I possibly can and try to out-damage the enemy team, out-survive the enemy team, because that's what matters at this point. There's no other way we can really get away with it, and I'm pretty sure the enemy fighter that's been trying to play games against me is that of the case, and the enemy Lexington is the fighter Lexington that really just been auto-clicking stuff in the distance and leaving the fighters most likely really just circling his own Turpits guy. That's I'm pretty sure that's the case. Just probably, let's see, where is this Turpits? Probably just circling. Yeah, probably just circling around this area, and that's where it was last spotted. So those 2 fighters aren't going to be doing anything to me, because I'm focusing heavily on striking the northeastern side of the map, because that's the side of the map the enemy team is trying to make a breach on. And I also should try to move this fighter down there to try to intercept that torpedo bomber strike over there. Now, team-wise, we're not really looking that good, and I haven't actually done that much damage overall. This was back in the day where HE damage and fire damage over time was actually superior to dive bomber, to the flooding damage over time, unlike now. And I should also pay some attention to my fighters over there. I definitely am not. I think it's late game play. So my fighter actually gets tagged, which is really awkward, and I don't actually recognize that until it's too late. So I'm basically giving the old F-tag trick. But the anti-aircraft here should be sufficient, so that I should be able to try to negate some of the panic, but I think it's a bit too late. So that's pretty much just a throwaway fighter squad, and hopefully the North Carolina's anti-aircraft can pick up the slack a little bit. But Considering that another fighter squadron is coming in, I mean, some of the AA is focusing on this fighter right now. There is no disengaged strafing, so I can't do anything about that torpedo bomber squadron. And the anti-aircraft isn't going to be doing anything to help me until, well, that torpedo bomber squadron gets out of range. And then is forced to attack the fighters. So it pretty much was, well, it just turned out to be a bit of a throwaway squad in a way. But the AA is going to help me now, and I do actually spot some torpedoes coming in with the return of the squadron. So, hey, equal trade, but equal trades don't go in my favor at this point because I lost a squad for complete free earlier. And of course, more strikes coming in, so it really is just kind of down to the team to try to do something about it. And of course, if I had been paying attention, I could have avoided the loss of the first one, and the second squadron I could have just pulled away and tried to focus explicitly on trying to deal with enemy strikes inbound. Now, Mogami and Iowa are somewhat lower HP. I'm going to use my dive bombers to click the Iowa first. One torpedo bomber squadron should easily finish off the Mogami, who probably has defensive AA already if it was up to the Lexington strike. And, well, I mean, at this point, I really just need to click both of these guys with one single torpedo bomber squadron, and realizing that. So I'm sending another one, single squad to attack the Turpets, and I'm trying to line up to kill both the Mogami and the Iowa simultaneously. Currently, I mean, this is not... Actually, it's an alright drop against the Iowa, especially if it takes any more damage. And now I'm committing to drop against the Mogami. I'm pretty sure he's going to try to maintain inter. There goes the Iowa. He actually has taken some additional damage. And there goes the Mogami. So that's a double strike as well. And the Turpets is currently on fire. Second squad kind of just flew along with this and just waiting for him to bleed a little bit more. And I'm not going to commit this squadron at him until the fire expires. And you basically just need to sit here and wait until that happens. There's nothing else you can do about it. There's no indicator in the top right corner. There you go, the fire expires. Actually, I think it's a damage control party, which is kind of helpful, because if he did in fact damage on that, I can go send my dive bomber on him and click him again in a couple of seconds. In fact, I should be doing that right now. And I realize that the squad's taking fire, and I now come to realize that, oh, hey, hold on a second, he's not on fire anymore. So, gonna go click him with this. Hopefully it was a damage control party, and hopefully I get triple fire from this squadron. Not the world's most likely thing to happen, but the Turpets AA at this point in the game was really quite weak. No manual AA, 27 DPS on the dual purpose, and, well, it wasn't even heavy autocannon because it didn't get autocannons. Well, it didn't get heavy autocannons at least. I think the 3.7s are the semi-automatic versions, because, hey, Deutschland über alles. We're going to build a battleship with 3.7 centimeter anti-aircraft guns that you need to manually load like anti-tanker. Comrade, way out. Anyways, he's not really going to burn for too much, because only one fire, a bit bad RNG, but with the entire team heading in his direction, and him deciding, nope, I don't want to try to reverse my way out and head the other direction rapidly, we're going to try to Anschluss whatever is here, and that's probably not going to go too well for him. So, hey, he's probably going to find himself getting melted by cruiser HE spam, and the battleships that we still have alive, they do still have basically the same amount of battleships alive, but given Iowa, they have an Ithmo, and an Ithmo is, in general, a pretty easy target to deal with. I mean, the AA heavy autocannon was definitely a lot better at this point, if I remember my patches correctly. I think this was before heavy auto patch changes. I think carrier defensive came around about the same time. Sending my fighters a bit to the west, I think it's more, worried about actually being sniped, because at this, back then, carrier snipes was a very legit strategy, especially in matchups like this. If you could kill one of the two enemy carriers, and remember, Essex AA was pretty mediocre at this time. Like, sure, it's heavy autofocus, but still pretty mediocre. So it really is down to getting lucky that you don't get sniped, or having a cruiser to help you defend with their defensive AA and their just overall AA power together. And, well, if you get lucky enough to kill their carrier earlier as well, it's really just it. Now I'm going for the greed drops. I am, in fact, sending one torpedo bomb each Turpets and the Ithmo. Pretty much just, splitting my attention, and my micro at this point in life was actually really horrendous. So I'm basically just auto-dropping the Turpets. I don't really know why. Nowadays, I could easily micro, I am confident that I could micro both of this without any kind of problem whatsoever. So I'm committing this, that shouldn't be a panic, and then I realize, hold on a moment. Did I really just do the most ugly auto drop in human history? And I'm like, oh crap, I just screwed my chance of getting a double strike over. The Turpets takes the hit, he actually floods, and you can see the damage really isn't that great there, but
enemy battleship sunk.
I actually get him. That was a pretty big spot of luck, considering the firepower the team had. And of course, has to let this dive bomber slip through. But dive bombers aren't actually dangerous at this point. 1,000-pounder bombs aren't a thing. You know, AP bombs aren't a thing. I mean, he could theoretically kill the Turpus if he gets lucky with a fire and he doesn't have a damage bomb, but at this point, the game is pretty much secured, so it's really just a matter of stacking my stuff up and trying to click whatever damage I can off the enemy carriers. They never actually followed up on their promise of trying to kill me, which was kind of practical, you know, for trying to win the game, I guess. So that definitely was a neat little bonus for me. And, I mean, despite having no other additional fighters on the team as me, single fighter, the enemy at Lexington didn't actually try to contest me. He was mostly still just lying 2-on-1 and occasionally auto-clicking something, and I only really had to deal with the case fighter, I believe. So that turned out to be quite a useful little perk, if you want, for me. Now, it looks like the corner is being torpedo bomber dropped, and again, not really paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, playing the game properly, so he's getting clicked. He did defensive, though, so it shouldn't be a major deal. It's still kind of things I could have done to help out, you know. I'm probably just going to wipe this on retreat path, which I guess is a couple of additional plane kills for me, and there you go, squad wiped on retreat. But that means I'm out of ammo again. Now, standard battle being standard battle, it's going to take some time for the points to tick, and it seems like the K is like, screw it. I mean, him and Lexington together,
Maintaining present course.
and looks like he's like, you know, he wants to come and have a secondary battle, but I don't really have an intent of doing on letting him get away with that. I kind of, yeah, there you go. I kind of want to sink them, you know. I want my additional damage. Now, I probably should actually put the Lexington away just to get rid of his fighter squadron. But I think the team's going to engage that, so... Greedy me. Can I get a third double strike in one battle? No, it's... Good luck with that, strangers. That's just not going to happen. Especially not with the enemy, especially not with the fact that the enemy's, Lexington is now launching fighters, even though he is kind of getting complained. Now, sending the squadron in, I do have quite a few replacements left on these dive bombers, so I probably should just use these, like, that dive bomber squadron. Ugh. The dive bomber squadron should have just been sent at Lexington to try to get him away. The K isn't really keen on damage control partying the fire, so I'm kind of just bleeding here planes to anti-aircraft. And there you go, he did damage control party now. Hopefully the now he realized what was going on, so I'm a bit too late for that, so I'm going to have to click properly. Well, now, unless my rear gunners can kill it, like, now, but it's too late, so the drop commits. It's going to be a panic click, and it achieved the grand total of nothing. Kind of like you'd expect, really. And, I mean, he wants to try, but, like, no, I want additional damage. Damn it. Damage. Now, you can see that my ship is pretty far away from the actual kind of combat area. But, again, that's me trying to hug closer to Lexington in case of potential snipe. These... I mean, my fighter is taking off now, so I'm just thinking to myself, you know what? It's going to be faster and more efficient just to get it wiped and cycle them for the final attack of the game. Because the timing is kind of just out, you know... We're out of time, and I'm actually not sure whose squad is whose. I'm just trying to commit this drop. Maybe I get lucky. And it looks like, yeah, I do actually get lucky enough to get the drop off. So I'm gonna try for a bit of a long drop, but I'm pretty sure the panic is already in place. Lexington, oh no! Nope, the panic did not actually get incurred. I should have led a little bit more, but he's gonna try to intern that again to try to just flick his tail out, but he's so low HP now, chances are he's just gonna find himself going down to the next thing that comes along. Unfortunately, one torpedo bomber squadron makes it out. I should have sent it back off to die, but, you know, I am actually out of replacements, so hey. Someone actually nicks the kill on the K, and I'm pretty sure that Lexington's likely to get away. And yeah, it's, yep, seems like the planes are giving, some, not actually sure. Pretty sure it's just some last-ditch auto attacks. I mean, nothing more you can really do about that in this kind of a situation. And, well, I won't pick up the kill. I could have led a little bit more, I would have nailed it. But hey, more planes, gonna try to retreat past them. To be honest, I should just tag because it's 3 planes and I'll kill them with, you know, less cost of total ammo. Lexington fighters look like he's run out of ammo, so hey, it's time to go chasing again. But my ship's just so far away. And keep in mind, US planes, especially the strike planes, were incredibly slow back at this time. So I don't think I'm actually going to reach the target within the next 50 seconds, because the battle's about to end. Yeah, there's no way that, like, these planes are going to get here in the next 50 seconds. So I'm really just gonna go spot him again with my fighters, and you know I might get lucky, I guess, and someone shoots him for a bit more damage because he's kind of running out of map at this point.
Group 3, ready.
The last attack against the K was really just, hey, you know what, the game's gonna end. Let's see what we can do. But at least it's not gonna be a draw. At least there's that going for it.
Standing by for instructions. Over. Group 3, airborne.
So yeah,
Group
1-2-2 Essex.
for takeoff.
What can I say about it? I mean, it's a pretty broken ship in a way. I mean, it's kind of why they nerfed it to 1-1-3, taking away the torpedo bombers, but they gave 1,000 powder bombs, so nothing really much changed other than, well, the fact that, and of course that strafe doesn't want to commit, so I don't get to clip an extra plane or two, but like, that's why they changed it to 1-1-3. But against battleships, 1-1-3 didn't really change much against the total potential damage output, because flooding was also eventually buffed, so the damage result was the same, if not even better, because, flooding damage over times became a thing, which they really weren't back here. And of course, aircraft carrier players' skill also drastically improved, from this point in time up until what we have right now. Look at the things that have changed. Look at the skill level of me. Compare that old me, and I'm almost ashamed to show you the horrible gameplay that I've demonstrated here. I mean, if I want, I can actually go find some like my old Hosho games and old. I don't think I have any old Langley games anymore. I don't think I saved those, but I think Hosho, like the first maybe 10 CV games I played, or even 20, I could probably go dig them up and just show you how horrible I was as a carrier player back then. But it just really shows you how much has changed with aircraft carriers, despite us perhaps not really thinking about it. I mean, this was the old 1-2-2 kind of essay. Like, we now have Midway 2-2-2. The exact same torpedo bomber alpha with better HE dive bombers. The dive bombers are doing like 30-40% more damage per hit. Okay, you go from 7,200 to 10,000 something, so you're actually, you're doing 50% more with saturation and whatnot. And then your damage over times are stronger, because flooding damage over times were buffed now. Remember that. Flooding damage over times now deal more damage per tick at tier 10 than they did back then. Back then, flooding was almost negligible. The only real damage, if you want, over flooding was actually just the fact that your ship became slower and less maneuverable, and you might take an additional torpedo, which back then were less detectable, especially from the IGN side, and, you were more likely to end up taking one if you weren't careful. Now, I think this was after the battleship maneuverability nerfs, but I think carriers still actually had reasonable maneuverability at this point. I think, yeah. I don't actually remember. It's just so far back in time. Like, look, 2016. Like, that's 2 years ago. So it would have been a couple of months after release, because I don't think I ever went for the USN carrier line, like, with any form of dedication whatsoever. But hey, the reason I just wanted to show you is because I kind of got double strike, and that's really about it. Damage-wise, like, this is the total damage I did. So it's not even that super impressive, to be completely honest with you. I could have gotten better damage with a bit better RNG, but I kind of wanted that. I actually aggressively went chasing my double strike, so I could have saved the torpedo bombers to something other than the basically one-shottable turpits and went for I don't know, maybe even the carriers at that point. I could potentially have sent this, that torpedo bomber squadron down the western side of the map and try to drop it on the Essex or something. I mean, dropping on the carrier it's really just applying pressure, and at that point, applying pressure is kind of irrelevant because, well, the game was kind of starting to get secured because their striking power was the striking power was weaker than ours because we had to strike Lexington, and their Lexington never actually really came to contest with the fighters, which kind of didn't. Well, it really helped me out because it meant that I didn't actually have to fight 3 enemy fighters at the same time. And in my opinion, back then, strike Lexington was pretty worthless compared to 2-1-1. Because you could still do damage over time with 2-1-1, and you had 2 fighter squadrons, despite them doing 114 knots or something, if I remember my numbers correctly. Like, I just remember USN planes being ridiculously slow back then. Either that, or I'm actually not sure. He could have had, like, I actually don't remember. I don't remember the setups back then. All I know is I saw 3 fighter squadrons, and it probably was the Essex with 1-2-2, so... unless he was playing 2-on-1 himself, which would have been even more awkward, because then it was a Lexington contesting into K not doing anything, which doesn't make sense. Screw it. It's too far back for me to even bother looking for it, so sod it. 30 planes shot down, which is compared to with now current numbers, really really meek. But with the fact you only got like 2.5, if not just 2 strafes per squadron before it's back to base because you're out of ammo, that's not a bad number overall, especially considering I never actually got close enough to the planes or came under attack, so my anti-aircraft didn't get to do anything. 9 fires, 3 floodings. I think it didn't count any flooding. You only could get 1 flooding, so just once you had a flooding, it just didn't count anything more. So 24 hits with 3 floodings sounds like a really really bad ratio. 9 hits, 9 fire. That's actually a really good ratio. In fact, just RNG things, and 6 in caps, which I don't even remember what were. Having looked at the team scores, 1,859 XP for me. Iowa on our team picks up 27 plane kills with Ibuki on my division getting 26 even. So these are going to help their XPs a little bit. You can see, despite having a decent game, it's even a sub 2k XP game. So XP must have changed a bit as well. I mean, granted, I didn't get to sink any destroyers because what destroyers? The only enemy destroyer I think was their Fletcher here. That's it. It's just this Fletcher, and well, he ended up dying to I think the Corny in the end. So hey, details. Lexington, kind of like you'd expect for a strike. Lexington achieved a grand total of not much in terms of the scoreboard. I mean, it's not that far down. Like overall, our team performed, as a wholesome, quite decently. You can see that with the not really huge difference in XP, and it's just some of the people at the bottom here with some lower XPs, like tier 7 Miyoko in a tier 9 game. Autolols were not easy to play. And it's actually our cruisers with the top tier battleship at the top. Detail report screen, this is where you can see the damage. Torpedo hits 150k, just mostly alpha damage. The Die Bomber is actually still doing decently, like 21k with... Wait, what? 21k with 9 bomb hits? That's a lot, actually. That's actually a pretty good number. I mean, these are still the 500-pound bombs, the 7.2 or 7.6k bomb hits one, so, compare that to, say, a current AP bomb that does potato. If you, drop something like, I don't know, a Montana with AP bombers, 9 AP bombs for this much damage, forget it. Fire set, 26k, flooding's not as much. I think the flooding damage was actually all on the enemy turrets. Everything else, I didn't really get flooding damage over time. And it really just goes to say how weak flooding overall was at this point, where fires were what you were trying to go for. And I mean, the fires weren't even follow-ups from Torpedo Bomber Alphas. The fire damage was follow-ups to actual fire damage itself, or just, letting fires burn in the case of the turrets, for example. And I think even the Iowa at the start, where maybe picked up a little bit of damage there, which realistically was just a waste of planes to send them there in the first place. So yeah. Lost 58 of my aircraft, lost 6 fighters for complete free, but I never actually got the plane of fighters. It didn't turn out to be a major difficulty. I mean, if I hadn't lost them, if I've been playing better, let's just get this straight. If I've been playing better, I could have perhaps not, lost so much damage to my team if I had actually been a decent carrier player back then, but hey, I wasn't. Not really many people were at that point anyway, so hey, details. And there you go, last score screen. This is the credits and experience. See, yeah. Okay, I don't even know, but I don't even think camouflage was something. Consumables auto resupply. I don't even think consumables were a thing back then either. Like, you just had people Damacom, I guess. I don't even remember, but hey, whatever. That's actually not a bad number. Carriers were actually kind of profitable back then, unless of course you got attacked, in which case this number would have gone down, and I guess for Decay he would have really suffered a lot of credit bleed there. But carriers were actually one of the more profitable classes because the servicing, the repair costs. Actually, no, this was after repair cost nerfs because it's just a flat 70k there. I think the old base servicing was like 25 or something. I don't even remember. Whatever, sod it. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. I might look for some more old replays of, I guess, aircraft carriers to look for. I mean, I've got some interesting ones lying around. I just need to go spend time to find them all. I spent like 2 hours trying to fix my old network storage to actually dig up this old client because I don't have it available on my current PC. It's on my network storage. And, well, it took me 2 hours to get that thing to work because I haven't packed it out since I ever moved apartment last summer, damn it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope the effort to look for this old Essex 122 game was worthwhile. Take care, and I will catch you guys in the next one.